YouTube, what's up? This is Greg Ferris of MyoBrain. Haven't been on the YouTubes in a while, but did want to give you guys kind of an update going into USAPL Nationals, which is now just about 4 or 5 days away. So I will be competing on Friday in the 83 kilo division class. Most of my training, all the hard work, of course, has been done. The next few sessions will kind of be technique work, dialing things in. I'm not even going to hit openers this week. I'm going to compete on Friday as opposed to Saturday. So nothing heavy, just between like 55 to 65%. And again, it's kind of going through the cues and making sure I don't, forget how to squat, bench, or deadlift essentially. So all my hard work has been done. I may upload some of the past 2 weeks training onto YouTube. I've just been super busy with a lot of awesome stuff going on with MyoBrain, so YouTube hasn't been taking top priority. But if you are interested in seeing my current best gym lifts or stuff like that the past few weeks, and I don't get it up or you're impatient, just go check out my Instagram. It is at gferrismyobrain, so Ferris 2 R's and 1 S. I always post up really recent stuff on Instagram. It's a lot easier just take it off my iPad and post it on there as opposed to post it and edit it for YouTube and stuff. So it's always really recent on that. For this video, I want to kind of give you guys my game plan, if you care, of my lifts going into nationals, kind of what my goals, expectations are, and whatnot. So, of course, I have my whiteboard, so I'm just going to get into it, guys. So, starting off right over here, this is my meet in April, so about 6 months from nationals for me. And these are the numbers that I hit my third attempts at the meet in April. So 210 squat, which is about 463 pounds. Then that's a 281 bench press and a 518 deadlift. So aren't you happy I'm a nice guy and list both kgs and pounds for everyone? Okay, so again, that was my gym lift 6 months ago. I won't get into the whole shebang about my kind of philosophies and whatnot, but generally I try to leave 5, 10, maybe even 15 pounds different between my gym lifts and my competition lifts. It's not that I'm not training hard in the gym, it's just I don't really see the benefit of going to a true max in the gym if your goal is to be a good competitor, right? The goal is to train and to compete, and those are always not the same exact thing. So again, I won't go into a rant there, but kind of going into now my best gym lifts since that meet. Of course, there's been some lag period, about 6 months here. But again, take into account, I don't really push these maximum singles even in training, even if in 6 months. But with that being said, I did recently, just 2 or 3 days ago, hit a 475 squat. So that's actually a 12-pound increase in my competition lift. It's actually it was a 22-pound PR, or sorry, 20-pound PR from what I hit prior to this meet. So in April, my gym PR is 455, and I hit 463 in competition, about 8 pounds. So again, my gym lift right now is 475. Moved pretty well. It certainly is a heavy load for me, but by no means do I think it's an absolute max. So I'm excited about what I can do at nationals. And then for me, my best gym lift for bench press is 291. I should have put an asterisk by that because it probably isn't up to competition standards. I do think I've hit a 290 bench press though to pretty good standards, and it wasn't semi-recent though. I didn't actually have a very awesome maximum bench press testing the past few weeks. A lot of my reps went well, but I don't think it transferred over to my 1 rep max attempts. But again, there's a lot of variables to go into that. But I did hit a very, very clean 285 bench press just on Friday. No doubt, competition, pause and everything. And that's 4 pounds better than my previous competition. And then for deadlift, my best in the gym is still 510. This is actually prior to this meet, not in between these two. Just kind of had a lot of kind of back SI stuff going on. So again, not really trying to push that incredibly heavy. But leading up to the meet, I did pull 475, then 500. They weren't maximal lifts at all. The 500 was a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. And I was going to pull heavy again this past week, but again, the SI I wasn't feeling 100%. So I better just pull some techniques and speed work and then go into nationals fresh. So deadlift's probably my biggest question mark right now, but I am feeling healthy. And again, like I don't feel like I'm incapable of pulling a big number. I just want that big number to mean something. So if I'm going to pull, 520, 530 off the ground, I'd much rather risk that in a meet setting than just in the gym where it really doesn't matter. I mean, honestly, if you're a competitor, if you pull 530 in a gym and you hurt your back and then you can't do a meet, it's like, cool, you didn't accomplish anything, right? So now kind of going into my national openers and my general expectations. So again, being at a big national meet, you have to be a little bit more flexible with your second and third attempts. I'm not going to be in the placing like to win, so I'm not going to be really, jiggling to the back with the top few guys of if he deadlifts this, then I'm going to go here, and kind of that cool stuff that goes on when you're like the top couple of positions, like fighting for podium. Hopefully one day I'll get there, but right now my goal is just to beat my previous best at nationals. So my openers though, I plan on going 197.5 kg on a squat, which is about 430, 435. That's about 20 pounds heavier than I opened last time, but I've hit that for maybe a 4 rep max before. So pretty confident I can hit that. 117 and a half bench press. It's around 260. Again, that's something that I could hit like, you woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, no caffeine, probably could hit 260 cold, right? And then a 210 deadlift, I think it's around 465. Again, I'm going to take my biggest jumps with deadlift. I just always do that. So I always open up pretty light for a deadlift. I want to rip it off the ground, feel how the bar feels, and then build confidence from there for the third attempt. So again, won't get into a big explanation here, but in general, I think powerlifting should almost be like how you treat a max in the gym. And you wouldn't take 5-pound, 10-pound jumps most of the time if you're going for a PR. You would know what that number you're trying to hit is, and you would set up your warm-up attempts for it. So for me, the first attempt, and even the second attempt, for the most part, is a warm-up for these third numbers. So again, a lot of people still, miss their first attempt, or their gym PR is 420, and they want to squat 390 to open for some reason. But again, treat it like a warm-up. That bar should barely even decelerate during your first attempt, again, in my opinion. Okay, then going on to the second attempt. Again, these are rough. These can change a little bit, but I do want to hit these third numbers. That's my ultimate goal. So a 210 squat, so about a 30-pound jump there. I think that's around, that is my previous best, 463. Again, I feel pretty confident with that. I doubled 455 in the gym before, and I just singled 460 before I singled 475 in the gym, and it moved really well. So I definitely think a 463 could be in my books. But again, I may actually move that even down a little bit if I feel really good, because I want to save more in the tank for that third attempt. So again, kind of weird to move an attempt down if you feel good, but again, my ultimate number is to hit that third attempt. So I want to put myself in the best position to do that if I feel like I really have it. And then right here, 125 bench press, and then 225 for a deadlift. I'll just kind of move on. The video's getting kind of long. So my ultimate goals is a 220 back squat, which is about 485, a 130 bench press, which is 285. Again, not my gym PR, but ultimately I want to hit a big total so I can get a couple more kilos and play it kind of safe on the bench press with the longer pauses at nationals. That's probably a good bet. If I'm just feeling it or something like that, I may jump up to 290, 291. But for right now, I think a good number for me is 130. And then a 240 deadlift. Again, this is the one I'm a little bit iffy about. That would be a 12-pound PR for me in competition. But I am stronger. By no means do I not feel like a stronger person than I was in April. I just have to put it together on the platform with a deadlift, trust in my technique, and pull the shit out of that bar and hope for the best, really, to hit that big number there. Okay, then kind of finishing off, my ultimate goals for nationals. Number one is a 590 kg total, or a magical 1300 total, 1300 pound total. So again, that would be me hitting all three of these final attempts. That is my primary goal. And then my secondary goal is to go 9 for 9. So obviously, if I do this, I'm going to do number 2. But say if I'm a little bit iffy on that squat, maybe I hit that 463 and it barely moved. So I say, okay, let's just go up to 470 or 475, maybe even 480, something like that, and play it a little bit conservative. Same thing with deadlift. It's probably a more likely scenario. I feel really confident I can hit a 485 squat. But say maybe I hit that 225 deadlift. It's a little bit of a grinder. Maybe for me, I just go up 5 less kilos than I have originally, and I total like 1290. Again, I would still be happy going 9 for 9 because again, the goal is to have a big total. So it's better to have I want to say some intelligence about it, but it's better to be objective about your performance, because if you can do that, you have a better chance of putting up a big total. But if you maybe you hit that 225 deadlift and you kind of grinded it out for the second attempt, you're like, oh no, that's just a fluke, I got it for this third attempt, and then you try to jump up 15 kilos and you miss it, but maybe you could have jumped up 7.5 kilos or 10 kilos and made it, and your total is 20 pounds higher. And you can do that for all your attempts, right? So, the name of the game is not to be great at any one lift particularly. It's to make the most amount of attempts, because normally people that make the most amount of attempts tend to have the highest totals. Of course, if you just squat like 600, you don't have to really make too many attempts. You probably could just open up and still beat me. But for the most part, if you want to be competitive in your kind of chunk of people you're going to be around, right? If you're entering with a top 10 total, you're probably going to finish top 10. If you enter with the 11 to 20th total, you're probably going to finish in that range. Maybe if you're on the outskirts of one of those two, you can jump. But for the most part, you're not going to go in totally 1450 and actually total 1312 or vice versa. Okay, so you have to kind of see where you're at. I think I totaled like 1260 in April. So again, me even totaling 1290, 30-pound jump would be awesome. But again, that big number for me is 1300, and I think I'm capable of that. It's not just like a fairy dream or whatever. I think with my lifts, especially my squat and my bench, I'm more than capable with that, and I'm feeling as healthy as I've been for the past maybe 2 months for deadlift. So I think I should be well for that. Again, all I need is one really good pull. That's all really kind of counts at the end of the day. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but also kind of exciting, because all my deadlift training really doesn't matter. It just comes down to one pull if I can put it together. So thank you guys for watching. Again, if you guys have any questions about nationals, just let me know. I for sure will have this up before Friday. I'm leaving for Scranton Thursday. If you're in Scranton, if you're competing at this meet, or if you're going to be there or something like that, for sure hit me up. We'll come kick it, and I don't know what we'll do in Scranton. I've never been to Pennsylvania before. I'm sure we'll find something to do. I will be around Thursday, Friday, and a little bit of Saturday, because I want to see the myth of Jesse Norris. But I'm leaving like midday Saturday just to get back. I have a test on Monday after nationals, of course. But thank you guys for watching. As always, this is Greg Ferris. If you're interested in coaching, articles, all that stuff, again, find it all at myobrainperformance.com. See you guys.